Okay, so just over a year ago, I did a review for Halloween Kills. I had recently started my channel, and it was the first video that I did that got any kind of traction. People seem to like hearing me rant and rave about how terrible Halloween Kills was. But I'm a little embarrassed about that video because I think maybe I was a little too vitriolic. Don't get me wrong, I still hate the movie. I still think it stinks, but I think I was a little too much of a angry nerd in that one. So for Halloween Ends, I'm going to try to be a little bit more mellow and calm, less swearing, more even-tempered, professional. We're going to try to keep this review professional. Okay. Halloween Ends. This movie is dog shit. I don't know any other way to put it. It's just another smattering of poorly thought out ideas that were probably never going to work anyway, even if they were thought out. And I'm not going to go through everything in the movie like I do with my shitty commentary videos. But there will be a few spoilers because I'm going to talk about some specific parts. So just be warned. And, basically, the movie takes place several years after the events of the two previous movies. And it kind of centers around a character named Corey, a kid who, like a teenager who accidentally killed a kid while he was babysitting him. The kid's parents go out to a Halloween party, which is shocking. It's fucking insane that this town is so hardcore about celebrating Halloween only a year after Michael Myers fucked everybody up. You'd think they'd move. They'd leave Haddonfield, especially since, as we'll soon find out, Michael Myers is still out there. He was never caught at the end of Halloween Kills. But I guess that's just a testament to how much these assholes love Halloween. They don't care that there's a killer on the loose. It's Halloween, and it's time to party. And like I said, this Corey character ends up accidentally killing the kid he was babysitting. And it's frankly a hilarious scene. I mean, what a way to open a movie. If that was supposed to be serious, they failed pretty hard. Because I laughed out loud. It was just so silly. The event itself is not that silly, but the way it's shot, it's like slapstick. And it's just so over the top. And the fact that the kid is such a little asshole, it makes it impossible to take it seriously as like a tragedy, which is what I think they were going for. And of course, prior to this, tragic event, Corey and the kid are watching John Carpenter's The Thing on TV, which is obviously some kind of homage to John Carpenter's original Halloween movie, where the kids are watching the original 1950s version of The Thing. But I just think that's a mistake, man. Don't make reference to a vastly superior movie in this movie. Because when I see that, I'm just going to go, man, I wish I was watching John Carpenter's The Thing right now. Or any John Carpenter movie, for that matter. Even Ghosts of Mars would have more entertainment value than this movie. And of course, some years later, I'm assuming it's 2022 when the movie officially starts. So now it's 3 years after the Michael Myers killings. And we see Laurie Strode living kind of a happy life with her granddaughter, Allison. She's baking. She really seems to have moved on from the events of Halloween Kills, which is fucking insane. Because in that movie, not only does half the town get murdered by Michael Myers, he also kills Laurie's daughter, Allison's mother. She dies at the end of Halloween Kills. And Laurie, the woman who was so paranoid for 40 years about the possibility of Michael Myers breaking out of a mental institution, seems to have no worries now that Michael Myers is free. She was more concerned about Michael Myers when he was locked up than she is knowing that he's still out there somewhere. Explain that to me. How does that make any sense? And why the fuck is she still living in this town? Laurie Strode and Allison should have packed their shit on November 1st, 2018. They should have been long gone by now. But no. Laurie Strode is just sitting around with her thumb up her ass while she bakes a pumpkin pie and writes her fucking memoirs or whatever the fuck she's doing. Yeah, she's like writing a fucking autobiography in this movie. Does that make any sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. And how did Michael get away? They never answer that shit. At the end of Halloween Kills, he was in a house surrounded by cops. Somehow he just walked out of that house and he's been living in a sewer for a few years now. I mean, maybe he flushed himself down the fucking toilet. Nothing would surprise me at this point. And you wouldn't think that this Corey character would end up being the center of attention in this movie, but he is. We just kind of followed this dude on his way to becoming Michael Myers' sidekick. That's what this character is. He makes a horrible mistake at the beginning of the movie, and he apparently avoids any charges, and he becomes the town pariah. He's bullied and mocked, and he's made fun of by the local high school kids, which is just sad that this adult is getting made fun of by high school kids. And his mom is abusive and kind of crazy. And you start to maybe sympathize with them a little bit. Until he finds Michael Myers in the sewers. And Michael does the Vulcan mind meld on him. And he becomes his ward. And they go on a little murder spree together as the psycho Batman and Robin. What a twist. And while this is going on, Allison is kind of inexplicably interested in Corey. I don't know why. She just kind of takes a liking to this dude who's weird. Basically for no reason. And also for no reason, Laurie tells Allison that Corey has the same look in his eyes that Michael had. I mean, what does that mean? Is that not some of the most cornball shit you've ever seen? I mean, he's got that evil look in his eye. It's like they're trying to recapture the Dr. Loomis theory about Michael Myers, I guess. But it doesn't work without Dr. Loomis. It doesn't work when Laurie's doing it. It just doesn't. And I don't understand why Corey is the main character of this movie. It's the third movie in a trilogy. And we're following around a character that was just introduced. I mean, why? It doesn't make sense. And he's the main character of the movie until he isn't. Michael ends up killing him after he had a botched attempt to kill Laurie. Actually, Corey kind of kills himself by sticking a knife in his neck. But Michael finishes the job. And I just got to wonder what the point of that character was. What's the point of Corey? What's the point of any of this? I think they're trying to say that Michael is so evil that he can influence others to be bad like him. Which is a silly fucking thing to introduce now. In the third movie in this trilogy, in the, 12th, 13th fucking movie that Michael Myers is in? I mean, it's just really all over the place. I have so many questions. How did Michael not get captured at the end of Halloween Kills? That's something I think that would be worth exploring. But they don't. Why has he been living in a sewer? Not going out to kill anyone on Halloween? The movie seems to imply that he's grown weak and he needs Corey to help him get some kills so he can get his evil strength back. So basically they turn Michael Myers into Freddy Krueger. I mean, that's the same concept as Freddy Krueger, just without the dream shit. And how does he mind meld with Corey to make him evil? When did that become a Michael Myers power? They further this idea that Michael Myers is just an unkillable supernatural machine. They never explain why. And then they kill him at the end of this movie by dropping him into some kind of fucking giant meat grinder. So he's gone. He has gone from his pure evil, unstoppable form and he can mind control people, and he needs to kill people to gain strength, to, he's just a guy. Let's just kill him. And he's dead. I mean, it's brain dead. And if I had to force myself to say something good about this movie, I'd probably say that it was fun to see Darcy the Mail Girl from The Last Drive-In make a cameo appearance. And it was also great that no one said evil dies tonight in this one. It's never said once. That alone might make it better than Halloween Kills. And if you look at this as a trilogy, and I know I'm not the first person to make this comparison, but I think it really is a good comparison. It reminds me of the Star Wars sequel trilogy. You know, in terms of how erratic it is, it's all over the place. And there's really no connection between the three movies. I mean, the first movie is very similar to the original Halloween. Kind of takes things back to basics with the intention of simplifying Michael Myers again, making him more grounded. And the next movie upends all of that. It goes in a totally different direction, and Michael reverts back to the old Michael Myers from the many rebooted timelines where he's just like an unkillable machine. And the third one is just a mess that tries to pick up the pieces from the first two movies and glue it all together while adding nothing of any interest. I mean, that's basically the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I mean, there's so many similarities. To me, it's pretty striking. I don't know. And I think all we can do now is hope that this movie lives up to its name and ends the Halloween franchise, because it is over. It is over, Johnny. It's over. At least as far as Michael Myers goes. They have done all that needs to be done with this character. And I think it's finally time to move on and maybe consider making more Halloween movies like Halloween 3. It's not a perfect movie by any means, but I would happily trade 11 Michael Myers sequels and reboots for 11 new horror movies that take place on Halloween. That's what they should do. I want less Michael Myers movies and more Halloween movies like Halloween 3. Or like Trick or Treat. Or like, Night of the Demons. Something different that takes place on Halloween. I think that would be cool. And if I had to give Halloween Ends some dick rocks, I would give it 1 dick rock out of 5. Which sounds harsh, but that's actually more dick rocks than I gave Halloween Kills. So I guess that's progress, I guess. Baby steps. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this one. Did you like it? Are you with me on it? How do you rank it against the previous 2 movies in the trilogy? Let me know. It's depressing. I mean, I mentioned it in the Halloween Kills video. It was Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is what killed this franchise. I mean, I personally think it died long before that, but there was just no coming back after Busta Rhymes roundhouse kicked the shit out of Michael Myers. And they keep trotting him out there. Like we don't know. Like we're just going to forget. We're never going to forget, dude. You got the shit kicked out of you by Busta Rhymes in the early 2000s. You're done. It's over. That's when Halloween ended. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Until next time, take it easy.